What exactly is a content strategy for social media? A content strategy is the ongoing process of translating your business goals into a plan that uses content as a primary means of achieving them. A content strategy guides the creation, delivery, and the governance of all the content your business puts out. Creating a content strategy is very similar to creating a social media strategy. The framework is much the same. I highly recommend you open up a Google document and start filling it in as you go. This will be your content strategy, and you'll quickly have a lot of information filled in at the end of this movie. The first step, as always, is to get clear on your goals. I recommend using the SMART framework. This is going to make sure that your goals are specific, measurable, attainable, relevant, and time bound. And an example of a content strategy goal using this SMART framework is to increase blog views by 50% by the end of Q4 2021. And you'll achieve this by working closely with your editorial team and publishing a new blog post 5 times per week. Now, your SMART goal could be as simple as making sure that you're posting once a day on Facebook. So it can be as complex or as simple as you want. And if this is feeling a bit overwhelming, I recommend starting very simple. Perhaps you want a piece of content to be shared a certain number of times. That makes a great goal. Next, we're going to define our audience. We need to know who we're speaking to. This is going to help you use the right tone, publish the content on the right networks, and even use the right images. So if you have a customer persona, work off that. If you don't or you need some guidance, there is a customer persona worksheet in the files. Basically, you're going to start detailing who your customer is, what their interests are, traits, and demographics. Next, and this is a really important step not to miss, is to audit your existing content. If you've already been publishing for a while and you have content on these social platforms, know that important information is able to be discerned from them. So take a look at your Twitter Insights or your Facebook Business Suite, and you can specifically see what content does well. You can see, videos always outperform images. So take a look at your existing content and how it's performing on your social media channels. Next, creating content themes is a great way to help you stay organized and even a little bit creative when you're creating content. An example is Meatless Mondays. So this is a phenomenon where people share their vegetable-based recipes on, you guessed it, Mondays. So you'll know, say you're a chef, that on Mondays, you'll always share your Meatless Monday recipe. That makes it pretty streamlined and pretty easy to know what you're going to be posting on a Monday. Other examples would be perhaps you do industry tips, maybe you do behind the scenes, maybe you do jokes. It doesn't matter. Just make sure that your content topics are ones that your audience wants to see and that they're consistent. Map out your hashtags. So doing this research before you start posting is going to save you a lot of time. Now, do know that hashtags work on both Facebook and Twitter, but you're especially going to use them on Twitter. So in your strategy, you are going to have a section where you start researching and compiling all the best hashtags for you to use. If you're not sure where to take a look, head to Twitter Trends to discover the trending hashtags. You can also research your competitors to see which hashtags they're using. Don't forget to create a shareable document with all the hashtag information that you can easily copy and paste into your content. Now we talk a lot about content. Here is where you actually get to create it. So this is where you create the story, your narrative, and your content mix. And the more planning and practice, really, you do, the easier this will get. Some tips for creating content is I like to create my content in a document. Other people don't mind putting it directly into a social media scheduler like Hootsuite or even a project planner like Trello. So find your own process and system. Don't be afraid to outsource using a service like Fiverr or Upwork if content creation isn't your thing or you don't have enough time. There are tons of freelancers out there that are phenomenal content creators. You could hire someone just to create all your Facebook content and actually post it on a weekly basis. Be creative and try live video. If sitting down and writing a whole big 1,500 word Facebook post isn't your thing, maybe video is. And with the photo editing tools like Canva, you can create something really special. Now, you'll need to determine the tools that you want to use. You heard me talk about Fiverr, Upwork, Hootsuite. So what tools will you be using? Do you really require a robust social media scheduler tool with a ton of analytic dashboards? Or does a simple Google spreadsheet do exactly what you need? There is no right or wrong here. And if you're not sure, I recommend erring on the side of simple. Start with a Google spreadsheet. And if you start needing something a bit more sophisticated, then move in that direction. And as always, evaluate and adjust. As with any plan, you'll need to revisit it to see how it's going. Your content will tell a story, so you'll be able to see how many people have engaged with it, and then you'll be able to see trends and opportunities. The most important thing is actually getting started. Once you start creating the content, going through the process, iterating and adjusting, you'll start to develop a really powerful content strategy. As with anything, your content strategy is a living document. It's going to adjust over time, and that just means that it's going to get better and better.